Welcome to the Pope's Point of View with your host, Elijah Burke.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for joining your boy yet again for another edition of Post Point of View. And of course, I am your host of hosts, your God and light, your paragon of virtue, your former NWA World Television Champion, the Pope, Elijah Burke. And you are listening to the podcast that is indeed known as 45 Minutes of Fire. And then some. Y'all know Polo's not here. So if Polo's not here to do that, then that means that your boy is preparing right now for the sit-down interview series of Pope's Point of View. We are back with it yet again. And guys, I got to tell you, I have one of the most amazing individuals across from me, as you can see, that has ever stepped inside of the square circle. Certainly someone who means so much to your boy, someone who I have traveled up and down the roads with from time and time again, in the air, if you will, together, my travel partner, my homie, my boy, my friend. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about none other than the precious one, the lovely one herself, Victoria, aka Tara, aka Lisa Marie. How are you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. I could not wait to do your podcast, your YouTube show. We go way back, Pope. Oh my God. And I do, like, the way I describe you is you have the best smile in the business.
Oh, wow.
You do. And you have an infectious personality. Pope would get on the flight and go, "Hello, everybody," right where the flight attendants are. And you know when he showed up because he made himself present, and just, you put a lot of smiles on each other, like everybody's face.
Yeah, so we're just jumping into that right now. So let's just start right there then, since you've already brought it up. A lot of people, even when I shared it on social media, for the fans to ask their questions, and I asked you to give a little sound bite, and the first thing you did was like, "Hello, everybody." And a lot of people don't know the origin of that, but that comes from our time together of traveling. And as you just said, Pope would just get on the plane, and that was like my calling card. That was my signal to find Lisa Marie. Because if she beat me on, she's going to wave or she's going to start laughing. And other people are going to laugh. So as soon as I came around the corner, I went, "Hello, everybody." And she would just bust out in laughter.
Exactly. And I usually was on the flight before you, but we used to always catch the tram with Larry. Larry and his son would always meet us at and you guys keep in mind, Louisville Airport, we 6 terminals, maybe 8, I don't know. But he would always wait for us when we're checking in to give us a ride to our gate. And we're just like, he's passing by people on wheelchairs that need assistance, but he was always there to give the wrestlers a ride to the gate and just shoot the shiznit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We would actually, sometimes I did. I can't necessarily speak for you, but I do know there were times us together. Larry, if you're watching this, hello, by the way, we hope that you're well. But Lisa and myself, we would actually hide from Larry because we did not want, as great of a guy as he was, we didn't want to take away the vehicle that was supposed to be used to transport people that needed to be transported. Because he would literally push, "Hey, come on, get on. I got you. Let's go."
Yeah. And then people would be walking to the tram, and they're like, and he would just want to go chit chat and get the scoop of like wrestling. And then, Pope and I always, the mystery, we still didn't want to risk kayfabe. And, well, you got to watch, Larry. You got to watch. I'm not telling you. Well, he was the gossip. Yeah.
But he had great intentions, and everything just kind of went downhill when they took him, and they took him off that cart, Lisa. I know you were gone by then, and I went back up there, and I was like, "Where's Larry?" And they were like, "They took him off the cart."
He was getting older. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
yeah,
like not very healthy, and his son would also worked at the airport. We
yeah.
had good times, man. Our travel, like when we get on the plane, it was like we always felt sorry for the people that were traveling, like in front of us and back of us or next to us, because we talked the entire time and laughed. And and then Pope's laugh is not like you cover your mouth whenever the people are sleeping. It's like that. It's exactly like that. And we had a blast. And we always, when we landed, Hope had to find his little cereal spot to pick up some cereal. He
This
loves his cereal.
so so guys, all right. Let's again, before we even get to anything else, we just filling you guys in on our friendship, our relationship, our brohood, whatever you want to call it. All right. I always told people, Lisa, and you've heard me use the term probably twice now, my boy, Lisa for me, in the most respectful way, of course, was what we all consider each other the boys, but the girls consider themselves the girls and the guys the guys. But Lisa was like my dude, man. That was my girl. She's my girl, but she's my boy. I had, in all of my years of travel, the probably the best travel, undoubtedly, let me not even lie, relationship that I've ever had in the business, and that was with you.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember there was one time, I can't remember where we landed or whatnot, but I was getting ready to get a car, and we were with TNA, I believe, at the time, I believe. And there was maybe we were still with WWE, I can't remember, but it was three divas, three girls getting in the car together, and I'm getting my car. You're like, you need a ride? Come on, like come with us. And I'm like, well, shoot, let me just go hop in. But she always looked out for me, and you always treated me as an equal when I was not even deserving of it, to be honest.
Pope, like Elijah, like I find it very baffling when I hear this, because we're all pretty much equal. We all bring money to the table,
Yeah.
and we bring, mid-carders, whatever, dark matches, whatever have you. I don't think anybody is above of treating someone equally. I did not like that mentality about, like, I've been in the business for 20 years. You've been
Right.
you've been in the business for 2 years. Still be respectful
Yeah.
of everyone. I think, and I think also you and I going to OVW taught
Mhm.
a lot of us the respect in the business, and you're only as good as your coworker. And
Right.
even you and I didn't have a match together, still you're my coworker, and still treat each other as respect and sisters and brothers. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
And,
Right?
and you
Right.
certainly welcomed me. I mean, I can't even remember the first time, which is shocking. I can't even remember our first time.
I don't either.
All I know is some way, somehow, especially with us traveling out of Louisville together, we just became like just coffee buddies. Okay, so she's talking about Pope and his cereal. Let me talk about that. Then I'm gonna get to her in the Starbucks. Okay, so so yeah, so you can't invite me to ride with you, and then it's like, y'all know I need to stop. Well, we're gonna stop here. I need to stop to a store where they sell some Frosted Flakes. I need some cereal for my hotel room. I know y'all gonna stop here, but you gotta pull over so I can get this as well. But when we were in the airport, wherever we were connecting to, if not just in Louisville when we left, which normally we had coffee or something anyways, but when we landed, we had to go find a Starbucks for Lisa. I don't know what it was about Starbucks for Lisa.
Okay. I used to drink Starbucks. I'm a 7-Eleven kind of gal now. Like the 10th coffee is free. So, hey, retirement, we have to be a little frugal. We're not getting a paycheck from the big companies anymore. So, like, I think that was the only coffee place
In a lot of
at
the airports, yeah.
at the time. I mean, they had Caribou or whatever the brands and stuff like that. But we needed to have our coffee because it was long travel days you and I had. And I mean, it was We had so much fun, so much fun. And Pope and I were like in a documentary made by Matt Goldberg.
Yeah,
Was
shout
back
out
at
to Matt
TNA.
Goldberg,
Big
MBG
shout out to Matt.
211. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Matt Goldberg is married.
How did he beat us? You know, like God dang. Well, I don't know if you still got I don't know, but whatever.
No, I'm divorced. I'm divorced, but
okay, okay.
I have a boyfriend, but I'm one and done. Marriage is just a lot of work. I think you can get married just like that, but divorce takes a freaking long time. But yeah, he was like he still looks 12.
Yeah, he just looks like a heavier, balder 12, but certainly.
Living in Chicago, that snow, for God's sakes, my God, you're going to gain weight. I mean,
I was at the wedding, right?
What?
I was at his wedding.
I got invited. I wasn't able to make it.
Yeah, he told me he was like, I really wish Lisa could have been here, so, but he's like, buddy, I'm so glad you're here. Like, this makes me so happy. And I wish you could have been there too, because I was the one that had all of the attention put on me. I was like, God darn it, Lisa ripping me again. I'm stuck.
You know what's funny? It's like you and I have like I think a reputation. We make friends with the fans, and we become really close with the fans. And I like for Matt Goldberg, like I got invited to his like a holiday party at his house. Right. I went. It was in Chicago when I was living there. But you and I, we always like, even though like we still have respect for the boys in the business, we still respected the fans, because wrestling, to describe to you guys, is a family. If you're a wrestling fan, you're part of one family, and I think it just brings everybody together. And the fans pay our bills, and they're not less.
No, they don't.
Yeah. Well,
no, they don't. I don't like that saying, Lisa. And let me
why?
Great. Let me answer that for you. For anyone's listening, you don't have the right to say that. Lisa can say that. I can say that, and every other wrestler can say, without you guys, there isn't us. There's no us. We can say that. You don't have the right to say, I pay your bills.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I had to check someone like that, because you don't pay. If you pay my bills, and I pay yours, because without me, there's no Walmart. Without Lisa, there's no 7-Eleven. See, the system works together. We all work off of each other. That's the way the whole system is set up.
Yeah, I think it's like the when people say, like, why are you ignoring me? Going to the elevator, going straight to your room. I pay your bills. Okay, I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
And if we're a heel, being a bad guy on television.
Oh yeah.
Told to play the gimmick. We play our character. Like, I'm gonna ignore you in the elevator, which is very difficult. Especially when you're a nice person inside, but you still have to play that kind of heel character. And I don't like that saying where they're like, you owe me. Yeah. No.
Gosh,
yeah. I don't like that. Yeah.
I wish I'm about to be black. Let me hold myself. But I wish one person did that. I'll never forget. I don't know what part of TNA, what town we were in at TNA. And I was not even a heel. Maybe I was, because I think I was wrestling Samoa Joe that night. But thankfully, I was a heel. And even if I wasn't, we were at this convention center, and I went over across the street to McDonald's to get me some coffee. And I'm coming back, and the security opened up the rails, and I walked through, and the guy's asking for an autograph, for me to come back to him. And I kept walking, and he uttered those words: "You shouldn't be like that, man. I pay your bills. If it wasn't for me, y'all wouldn't be here," or whatever. And it's like, yo, I told security, hold this coffee. And I went back over to that brother, and I educated him. I said, where do you work at? It don't matter where I work at. I said, where do you work at? I don't care where you work at, whether it's McDonald's, whether it's the electric company, whether it's the water company. If you're going to tell me that, then know that I pay your bills as well.
Right. If we're not customers at Walmart, you won't check us out. Yeah.
The audacity of somebody to walk up to that old lady or man standing at the door checking those receipts, talking about, I pay your bills. How dare you? But nonetheless, a good point, good talking point, just for some of you out there who are listening. So you do know you should never say that. If we say that as an entertainer, that's great. If you say that in your job, whatever that may be of employment, you say that, you have the right to say that. But nobody, and I mean nobody, has the right to say they pay your bills, because at the end of the day, that's just not true. But I'll tell you what is true. Me and my girl, Lisa Marie, aka Victoria, aka Tara, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about her start in this business right after this commercial break. What up, peeps? It's your boy Pope. If you are listening and enjoying Pope's Point of View with Elijah Burke, be sure to go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Springer, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts to subscribe today. 3, 2, and he'll chop and edit. He'll cut these out, you know, unless it's something funny, he'll send back to me.
Okay, let's wait till he stops swiping on Tinder or Grindr.
Red, our producer's over there swiping on
Swiping
Tinder.
on Tinder.
You know what?
He's a seventh child.
3, 2. Hey guys, we're back from commercial break. Y'all. That was my producer, Red. You just heard right there. We're over here cracking up. That's what happens when you have Lisa Marie Victoria. What do you prefer to be called at this point?
I don't even care. I answer all 3 names. I don't even notice, like, if someone calls me Tara, Victoria, or Lisa, I respond to all 3 names, and I wouldn't even know what they called me. That's
right.
How, right?
Yeah, well, you know, I had it's funny because Elijah is almost non-existent. I kid you not. It's almost like everybody. I'm talking about family as well. It's Pope. It's so weird.
Oh, wow, that is weird.
Yeah, it's like more people call me Pope than unless you're at one of those events. You know, we're at a show or whatnot, and or a convention, and someone's getting an autograph, and they go, "Hey, I remember when you were Elijah Burke," and it's like, "You dork! I'm Elijah Burke to the day I die. That's my real name. Yeah. No secret." Hello.
Do you know this? That someone went up to Undertaker's table to get his autograph and says, "Hey, Mark, can I call you Mark?" He goes, "Does that make you feel better?" And I was like, can you imagine? Like, I think it took me a long time.
I don't think I've ever called them Mark.
We only call each other like Taker. I don't call Chavo Sal, which is weird. You know what I mean? I think in our business is the only business we call each other by our character names.
Yeah.
And we're not offended. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. It takes over. It takes over. But hey, Lisa, let's talk about a little bit about you for the people that may not know this. I want to start in the beginning. All right. I mean, you are, I mean, you're well traveled. Your experience is through the roof. You are I'm trying to find a nice way to say you're grizzled. But
I'm grizzled vet. I take it. I'll even answer to that too. Yes, I'm pretty grizzled.
Yeah, you've been everywhere. You've done a lot of things, and people may not know this, but you were a fitness competitor before you became a WWF/E diva. And you won an ESPN Fitness America? Fitness America?
Correct.
Tell us about that.
Oh my gosh. So I got addicted. Okay, my old job, I'm going to try to make it like really quick, but my old job was removing corneas, saphenous vein, bone, heart, and middle ear for transplantation. So, you know, you go in the coroner's office or you get a call from the hospital.
I thought you said coroners.
Yeah. I removed for transplantation, and working on deceased people and being so young and passing away so young, you know, we're foodies. My family's foodies. We didn't know diet. We didn't know adding fiber. Like, it was just, we like to eat. And I got addicted to working out. My ex-husband owned a gym. So I got addicted to working out. My body changed after I was teaching aerobics at his business, and I started lifting weights, and my body transformed like so quickly. And then I entered a bodybuilding contest. Some guy came to me at another facility just saying, "Hey, have you thought about competing?" And I thought he was hitting on me because I was like,
Uh-huh.
it's a meat market. I don't want to, I'm here for a workout. Anyways, I go, well, when is this competition? He goes, in 30 days. And I'm like, to get ready for a bodybuilding in 30 days? He goes, yeah, I just need to help you with your diet. Ended up doing a bodybuilding competition. I won my middle class, and I saw the Fitness America competitions on television. And being a cheerleader, hip hop, gymnastics, when I grew up and stuff like that, I was like, this is right up my alley. And entered the Fitness America competition. And also it was called Try Fitness. It was like obstacle course, dance routine, and physique. Wasn't bodybuilding. It was more tomboys in the heels. Still you get judged by your physique, but you do a dance routine that incorporated certain moves like planks, toe touches and stuff like that, more gymnastics kind of geared. And I met Tori at a competition in Florida. We ended up becoming roommates. We were both sponsored by Life O2. It was
Did you say Tori?
Tori Wilson. That's how we met.
Okay.
Way before wrestling. And we became very close, very, very close. And ended up living with her in LA. And oh my gosh. And she got the job at WCW.
Right.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me go back. Let me rewind a little bit. So IFBB Fitness, there was another competition that the girls were a little bit more muscular, and I always had a problem I gained muscle.
Too muscular. Quickly. Yeah.
I was too muscular. And I was like, well, let me go to this one. And I got my pro card in 1999 in Florida in fitness competitions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then fast forward, Tori was like, I got this job at WCW. I'm going to be, a manager just walking guys down to the ring. She brought me backstage at WCW. And I was like, you get paid to be an escort to the ring? I was like, I cannot believe it. And she was trying to get me into WCW, but that was when they were kind of the money thing. Remember that when they were like having, I think they were overpaying their entertainers. And
if Polo Del Mar was here, he'd say ROI, return on the investment. So they weren't getting a return on their investment. They're paying all that money, but they weren't getting any money in. Go ahead.
Right. And then when people got injured, they just milk it too back then. That's what I heard. Right. And so, and then I met China at a health club. I was doing personal training in Los Angeles, West Hollywood. And I went up to her, I talked to her. I said, hey, I have a couple friends that you might know, Trish Stratus and Tori Wilson. They're in the business. And she said, are you a wrestler? You have a really good look for it. And I'm like, oh, I think I can do what RVD and Rey Mysterio, because I was a gymnast. I thought I'd be a great flyer, but knowing my size difference compared to the other girls, they're so much smaller. I sent my stuff in to WWF at the time, and I got a call in 30 days. I spent a fortune on my tryout video, $600 on a VHS tape. $600 that VHS. Yeah. It was all music edited.
Oh,
and
my God.
I punched the screen, and it goes, Lisa Marie Varon on my fist. And I got a call, Kevin Kelly called me 30 days. And he goes, hey, JR just got your tryout video, and he's never seen something so professional. And, your 8x10s, like I had a booklet, like, when you live in LA, everybody's an actor, you present yourself 100%. You don't present a backyard wrestling tape going, This is what I can do. This is what I can do. And there's no lighting and stuff like that. And I asked him, I said, well, what do you see me doing? And they're like, we see you wrestling. And I was like, okay. They said they want to meet me in 30 days at the Staples Center. And I Googled, it wasn't Google, I think was it Safari? What was back then? I don't know what we Googled back then.
Just AOL.
AOL. It was AOL. It was AOL.
Which I still have, by the way.
I did too. I actually have an email account still.
I still do, right.
Yeah, so do I. And I Googled pro wrestling school, called the pro wrestling school, which was UPW, ran by Rick Bassman. And I said, hey, WWF called me. They want to meet me in 30 days. I need to learn how to wrestle in 30 days, which, We don't know. We don't, being new to the business, you can't
yeah,
learn wrestling in
impossible.
30 days. Yeah, I just thought it was a dance routine or a gymnastics routine or a cheerleading routine.
Gotcha.
And and went to the wrestling school. At that time, John Cena was there, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Frank Kazarian, Jerry Lynn. There was like Heidenreich. There was so many names there, but we were all trying to make it, right? And Godfather was looking for a permanent hose.
Okay, well, hold on. Let's. Okay, first thing I want to say is I want to touch on what Lisa.
I'm trying to make it short because
no. This is for you. So you take your time. You ain't got to do no crash. I don't want you to go out there and have a TNA X Division match. Just tell a story.
Right.
Hold on.
Okay.
I just want to say to anyone, and we have a lot of the boys that listen to Bo's point of view, and we had just got I don't know, a couple of notches pushed down out of the 100, but we were just there, and we're all over. Thankfully we're charting. Whether that's in South Africa, Canada, and I don't care about that. My producer comment, he does, he sent me a little message. Hey, you're back at this number. I don't care about that stuff. I do this because I love doing it. But because I love doing it, I try to be as professional as possible in doing this for the listeners. And for the listeners, I want you to know that Lisa just said something that is very imperative to anyone's success in any type of job interview. And that is to present yourself as the best version and professional way that you possibly can. Because she spent $600 on a VHS, and those edits back then you couldn't do like you can do now on the phone. Now you had to pay someone to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I had to pay somebody. I had to pay, and if you want to get their attention, you don't go in like when people had dark matches and they would go to indie workers would show up. You need to dress like business, and you need to dress to impress, and you present yourself. You're not going to be half-ass on anything you do if you want to succeed.
Right.
And also, too, yes, I did get looked at 30 days into my, meeting with WWF, but the Godfather was hiring permanent hose at the time. That was my foot in the door. That was my
Godfather. Was the Godfather? Are you saying the Godfather was literally looking, or are you saying work-wise?
No, Godfather. So they used to get the hoe train from local strip clubs.
Right.
Local strip clubs. They would send out the crew, camera guys, cable guys, the sound to go scout out some girls. And you're not going to get in every city.
Right.
You're not going to get. I don't even know what strip clubs are nice, like Vegas, kind of. I don't know standards.
You might wind up with a hussy.
Yes.
Like Miz did while there was 4 or 5 of us rooming in a room together, and I wake up and there's a hussy in bed because someone hopped in my bed. Casey James, remember Casey James?
Yes.
And I'm going, Casey, because we did the whole drawing of the straws, and me, Eric Stevens, Hornswoggle, he slept in the window, so it wasn't an issue for him. So me, Eric Stevens, Hornswoggle, Miz, and Casey James, all of us are together in a doggone Comfort Inn and Suites room, right? It's double bed. We got a rollout bed. So 2 people are going to have to sleep together. So we drew straws, and I got the bed by myself. I won my bed. So I get to sleep by myself. Miz and Casey James, they got to share a bed. And then all of a sudden, around about 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm rolling over or whatever, and there's somebody in my bed. I cut the light on. I'm like, what the hell, Kate? He's like, bro, it's not my fault. Miz made me come over here. I had to get out of the bed. And I look over and I go, Miz, what the heck? And the blanket is covering him, and he throws it off his face in Miz-like fashion. And there's some hussy in bed with him that he found at the local strip club in Indiana. All right, I done told that story.
Right.
she
Okay.
she wasn't even worth me looking at. And I just went in on her. And I started telling her about having respect for herself. There's 5 guys in this room, 4.5 if you count Hornswoggle, actually. But there's 4.5 guys in this room. and you have the audacity to let this man bring you in here with all of these men and get in bed. You have no respect for it. And I called the hussy. Aaron loves this story. He loves it. I swear.
It's true. Like, a lot of the, well, hello, you're not going to get a medical student at the strip clubs, right? But
Right.
yeah, but like Pope says, we all shared rooms. Like,
Yep.
we had 3 to 4 people in our room, and we would share a rental car because we are independent contractors. We pay for our own rental car, our hotel. They pay for the flights, but to save money, we all like say, who are you traveling with? Who are you traveling with? Okay,
Right.
let's hop in so we can save money. And if we had a 200 or 300 mile drive, we can switch places to get to our next location. You know what I mean? Even though you make it to the big leagues, you were still having to save money. I don't care who you are, but
well, at least
some of us. I mean,
yeah, I was about to say, at least the people who were smart about it and were trying to not just be frugal, but trying to make the most out of what they were getting. But we're going to find out about what you got right after this commercial break, because I got to hear about this WrestleMania whole appearance. Hello, everyone. It's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world. All right, so Lisa, please do us a pleasure here and continue telling us how you became a hoe, if you will.
Okay, so and mind you, Pope, my parents did not know what a hoe was.
Are you kidding?
Nope, they didn't know the terminology. This is how old school my family is, a little backwards. I just said it's just a girl that gets the crowd riled up and just get into the matches. So
would they have approved if they knew?
I think they found when I got my foot in the door and when I started becoming like a wrestler, and then at the magazines started coming out. Remember at the grocery store, PWI and all that kind of stuff. This is my daughter. They were proud at the time, but they were like, "What about school? Aren't you going to go back to school?" And so Godfather, there was another girl, 2 girls. Her real name was Mandy. Her real name was Frosty. They changed her name to Mandy, so it was Victoria and Mandy. We were the permanent hoes. The perma hoes. Okay, so when we met Godfather, his wife was backstage. And we met the wife, and I think we had to get approval, like that we're not flaky and looking to hook up with the guys and like get for business and stuff like that. Found out the next week we're brought on to be with Godfather. Right. And I was still going to wrestling school, UPW, still trained to be a wrestler, because I knew that was the door opening for me to get in front of these people. Right. Gotcha. And so I wanted to be a wrestler. Rikishi pulled me aside and he goes, "Well, why don't you go talk to the office?" Brooklyn Brawler pulled me aside, go to the office. And I went to go talk to JR and I said, "Hey, Jerry Lawler tells me I need to move to Memphis to go to MCW to learn the wrestling craft." And they're like, "Oh, do you want to wrestle?" And I go to wrestling school on my days off. And they had a meeting the following week. And Kevin Kelly came up to me. He goes, "How fast can you get to Memphis?" And I go, "When do you need me there by?" And he goes, "Can you be there in a week?" My ex-husband and I, you remember Lee, Lee and I packed our stuff up, a U-Haul, drove to MCW, quit our jobs, went to go live in an apartment with all the guys that lived. It was not a very safe neighborhood, but I wanted to be where all the other wrestlers are,
right,
to get the feel of everything. And went to MCW and was there for a year. My God, Umaga was there, Maddie, Dragon, American Dragon, Brian Danielson.
Brian Danielson. Okay.
And I still can't call him that. Spanky, Low Key, Steve Bradley. Molly Holly was there. This school was, everybody that went there ended up in WWE.
Yeah.
It was the cream of the crop. And then that school only stayed open for another year. I got transferred to OVW, and the rest got shipped. Some got cut. The Haas brothers too were there. Some of them got sent to HWA. Remember, in Cincinnati,
Heartland Wrestling.
Heartland Wrestling. And then I got sent to OVW, and my God, the rest is history. That school, holy crap! Randy Orton, Batista, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin. Oh my Lord, I know I'm skipping out names, but Eugene, Rob Conway.
So many.
The
Basham brothers.
The Basham, yes. And I was Queen Victoria with Doug Basham and Danny. Yeah.
I'm going to get there. And we're going there. So let me ask you this. So you started wrestling, I assume, in MCW, you said?
I still didn't know how to wrestle. I'll be honest with you. Tracy Smothers was there, and he goes, "Hey, let's come in the ring and grapple." And I was like, "I don't know how to grapple. I'm so new. I know how to run the ropes. I know how to take a bump."
Okay, so you weren't Victoria all your career. What was your first gimmick?
I was Victoria as the Godfather. I was in the Godfather. I was.
Well, no, I mean, but before that, you had already been doing some wrestling.
Oh yeah. So UPW, I was head bitch in charge, HBIC.
Who came up with that?
They wanted to do a Stacy Keibler, with the notepad, the suit, the reading glasses, and stuff like that. And you don't tell them, no, I don't want to do that character. You just go with the flow. Okay, whatever you need me to do, I'm here.
So they had you out there in mini skirts and all of that?
Yeah. And I didn't know how to do anything. My favorite bump was the hard way in. That was my being a gymnast. I can get over that top rope and land, and it's crazy how fast everything happened for me. And don't get me wrong, I'm not being pompous or conceited. I did give it, I got the opportunity on a silver platter, but I worked my ass off. I really, being a girl in a man's sport, there's not very many girls, and you got to prove it. You got to, you don't cry. You just keep on going. You keep on going. You risk injury, but you don't say anything to anybody because the show must go on. Back in our day, Hope, if we my shoulder's clicking, I better not tell the office because I'm not booked the next weekend.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I think it's different now when they do have a cold or there's an injury. They want you to take time off to heal. Back in our day, someone's going to take my spot. Someone's going to take my spot.
And let me give you a perfect example of that. I'm going to fast forward to Pope here a little bit. I just want to throw this in there because it makes perfect sense about what you're saying. And I do want to say that's why you're one of the boys. A lot of the girls didn't have that. Certainly the new girls, they didn't have that mentality, Lisa. They just didn't have it. I'm talking about while we were up there. They just didn't have that mentality like you. But when Lisa's talking about losing the spot, well, after I wrestled Chris Benoit on that last ECW, and he came down crashing on my knees with all of his weight from the opposite side, and I had to put my knees above my head. So therefore, my back was arched.
Oh!
Yeah, and Chris was so solid. You're talking about 250 pounds of solid
muscle.
Yeah.
Solid. Yeah. Yes.
And when he crashed down on my knees, because I had to raise him above my head, my back felt like it exploded, right? And I still finished the match, and I still had to lift him up in the suplex so he could meet me in my head. And I go to the back after my loss, and I collapsed in the walkway. And Dusty comes and he goes, Lava, get up right now. Go over there and get behind those things. I don't want nobody to see you like this. Get up, go over there and lay behind those crates, okay? But somebody saw me. Somebody told Johnny Ace that Elijah is hurt. And so Johnny comes to me after I done got up and everything. He don't know I'm over there, but Johnny comes and he goes, "Hey kid, I hear you. How's your back?" I'm like, I'm good. He's like, "Don't lie to me. How's your back?" I said, "I'm good, Johnny." "All right, well, just to make sure, we're going to keep you off this weekend's event." That was Night of Champions. Now I'm only, and I wouldn't have wanted this way, but let me just so I don't go into detail, I don't want to talk about it. If I'm at Night of Champions, where they're saying, "Hey, where's Elijah? Where's Elijah Burke?" Because I'm supposed to have been there. Even if you're not working the pay-per-view, they want you there just in case. If I hadn't been there, I would have been ECW champion that night. But I was taken off the show, so the opportunity went to John Morrison because they want the face to chase the title. So because I was hurt and they found out, I was pulled from that show, guys. So Lisa is speaking nothing but the truth. But hey, WrestleMania, you get up there, you get your opportunity to be a whole. Was WrestleMania your first appearance in WWF?
No.
What was your first appearance with Godfather?
Oh, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. But my when I got taken off when RTC. Remember when Godfather was the good father?
Right. Well, hold on, because I was doing some research. I was and the research as I was Googling and looking, I think they said you made your first debut as one of the hosts for Godfather, which was at WrestleMania.
Okay. You probably know more than I do. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember. Because every show to me, I was so new.
Right.
I didn't know the importance between WrestleMania, pay-per-views, Raw, SmackDown, Velocity, Sunday Night Heat. I was just like, okay, I'm on the show. Let me get dressed. Let me do what I got to do. But I remember when Godfather turned Good Father, and he was with RTC, with Ivory, Stevie Richards, and Bull, and Buchanan, and Godfather had to turn on one of the hosts. I was the one that went through the table.
Did you volunteer? Or they
did. They're like, which one of you do we need to put? And I go to wrestling school. I go to wrestling school. I know how to bump. And they told Godfather they didn't think I was heavy enough to break the table. So the shot of him, he still apologizes to this day. He goes, and I said, I think I weighed more than Spike Dudley. I think I was 160 because I was muscular. Yeah. So they didn't know how dense I was, but he threw me through like with all his might. And I did not move. I didn't move. And that was the night, which we did another segment of me in the hospital with a neck brace. And then I was off TV. They took me off permanently. And they're like, we're moving you to UPW. You're coming back a full-fledged wrestler. And I thought, my volunteering to go through the table got me off a year of TV. That was good money for, a chick from California. And I was like, okay. So when I came back, 2002, I came back as Victoria, the wrestler.
So let me get this right. They take you off of television and it's for a year.
A little bit. It's probably longer than that. I'll be honest with you. I don't recall the time. But they had a lot of storylines for me to come back up to TV, and they would change their mind. They were like, and then I'd come back to school, and Danny Davis goes, "Did they change their mind again?" And I go, "Yeah." I go, "I think I'm being tested. I'm being tested to see how badly I want it." I go, "They're not going to break me. I'm here. Yeah. I got to train my ass off." And I'm glad they waited because I got the Psycho Victoria. I came back with a good storyline.
Well, watch this. I don't want to gloss over the name that you mentioned before we continue into the atmosphere in which you would transcend eventually. But But Danny Davis, you said, "Oh my God," about OVW, but Danny Davis and Jim Cornette, like, could we have learned under any better minds?
I cannot tell you. They were freaking amazing. And I would not take back any of my training.
Neither would I.
And him, like, just watching him go off on people if they screw up a spot, or like, why the hell did you do that? Because psychology, OVW was really keen on freaking psychology. And thank God for Al Snow taking over OVW, because it's continuing on the name and they didn't change it. It's still Danny Davis. I went to go see Danny Davis at when I went back, was it the Royal Rumble? I stayed an extra couple of days. ODB and I went to go visit Jules and Danny at the retirement community. And it was, and he took us out to dinner and he goes, thank you for coming to visit us. No one even keeps in contact with them and checks in just to say hi, or goes to stay an extra couple of days to go visit. And I'm like, shame on these people. They made us superstars, whatever they call us now. But they gave us the freaking tools. Platform. They believed in us, and they were not grandparents, like
that's what I call them. I call Danny Davis.
They took over the responsibility, making sure we keep ourselves like out of trouble. And God, dealing with all those wrestlers at the school, how much trouble like was had. But I'm telling you, I got trained by the best. I'll be honest with you, and I would not take it back. And the respect is still there. I'm still humble. I'm still uncomfortable when people get a little nervous meeting me at appearances, because don't you feel like you're just normal, Hope? Like we're still like human. Like
I'm beginning to understand more now than before.
Okay.
And I say that in the sense that I just did a couple of shows. I just did a show in Tennessee, and I just got back from New York, right? And I wrestled this kid named Brother Greatness, and I had no idea that I would be his dream match. So for him to say that, and to be so just happy to have me.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to finish this, but guys, we're going to take a pause for the calls for stationary identification. Hey guys, your boy is back. Y'all know how I got to do it. I got to pause for the calls to tell you about what your boy do when you don't see me on here. That's because your boy is out there giving back to the community, doing what we do on a regular basis for the Love Alive charity. We have a huge event coming up. That's right. It's going to be our annual Love Drive event in Jacksonville, Florida on January the 6th.
You're still doing that, Hope?
I am still doing it.
He did that when I was flying with them from OVW, and God bless you, seriously, man. And your family reunions. I can't keep up with all your stuff. So what's this charity? Talk about it.
Oh, I'll tell you later. But guys, oh no, I'm gonna read this. Red, where you at? This is a good one. This is Red. Clip this part. We're gonna use that for a commercial, okay? For like one of our blooper reels, all right? Okay, so Lisa, this
Go ahead, plug in your charity. I won't say anything. I won't say anything.
This is for the podcast. So when I'm saying that, there'll be like this little soft music behind,
While he's taking a puff of his vape, marijuana vape.
Yeah, he's always over there. Oh, all right. Let me come back in here. Hold on.
Okay. Do the countdown. I won't interrupt.
Oh, that was too funny. God dang, that was too funny. I hope I didn't. Let me see. All right. So, and my stupid behind, I deleted my version. I needed.
Oh no.
But, we got it.
Red, did you record? Are you recording, Red?
Yeah, I'm just talking about the sound. Yeah. So all right. Yeah. No, I ain't putting it on mine, so it don't matter. But I like to have my outtakes for me and Polo Del Mar. I got to keep ours because when we don't get a chance to record, I could just clip some stuff together and, here's our hot mic moments is what I call it. All right, 3, 2. All right, guys, your boy's back, and I'm not back for the attack. Y'all know how I do it. Your boy's back just to tell you how much I appreciate you, how much my main man, Alakan Khan Man House, the Deacon to the God Light, how much he appreciate the fact that you have made us a 5-star podcast. That's right. So when you guys are over there on whatever platform you're listening to us on, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, be sure to leave a comment just to let us know that you're paying attention and you appreciate the work that we're putting in on a weekly basis. And of course, my main man here on Pope's Point of View, the interview series, the producer, Red, he likes the fact that you guys are doing the same thing. So when you watch this back, be sure to subscribe to Pope TV for you on YouTube and be sure to leave a comment, guys. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep making this thing exactly what it is. And then, guys, when you don't see your boy on here, when you don't hear your boy, for those of you who are listening, know that your boy is doing what he always does, and that's making a change in the community in and around Jacksonville, Florida. Inasmuch so, this upcoming January the 6th will be our big annual Love Drive event. That's where we feed, we clothe, we assist the homeless community in Jacksonville, Florida, downtown. So we're going to be feeding, not out of Burger King this time because they shut it down, but we're going to be feeding the homeless and the sheltered individuals McDonald's. That's right. We're going to feed them McDonald's. We're going to clothe them. We're going to have blankets for the people that are on the street. We're going to have shoes. We're going to have hygiene products, and the list goes on. So guys, if you want to be a part of helping to make a difference in the lives of others, be sure to visit love-alive.org. Read, learn about us, see our mission statement, look at the videos that are on that website. And if it moves you, $1 help makes the difference in the lives of others. And I encourage you guys, if you can't do it that way, you can do it via Cash App. That's the Love Alive Charity, $, the Love Alive Charity. And I implore you, I encourage you, please, to help us continue to be the change that you wish to see in the world. All right, guys, so we are back with my guest for this evening on the Sit Down Interview Series, guys, Victoria. And Victoria was telling us about a WrestleMania debut. We were talking about so many things before the commercial break. We're talking about Danny Davis and Ohio Valley Wrestling. And before we move on for that, because we're going to do a rapid fire, or I'm going to read some of your guys' questions to her, and we're going to let her give a response. But I just want to touch back on what she said about Danny Davis. I want to talk about what she said about Jim Cornette and Al Snow. I am so grateful, Lisa, for the fact that you and I and so many others have had the opportunity to learn under some of the greatest minds ever in this business. And if not for those 3 individuals you named, I don't know where in the world Pope would be. I don't even think there will be a Pope. You know, the lessons that were learned, the psychology that was taught, it's invaluable. Would you agree?
It's invaluable. And also too, keep in mind what is not taught in the ring. Danny, Julie, Jim Cornette took us under their wing just on life. Like if they saw us like kind of like we're not like mentally there, they brought us into the office. Is everything okay? And everything was very hush hush. Like if you wanted a shrink backstage, I'm having problems with this. I'm on the road so much. I'm not spending time with family. They cared, and that was I can't even tell you. It's we really had it lucky. We really were in a great generation of learning so much.
We had leaders that would fight for us. And let me give you an example before I get to a couple of questions here. And guys, y'all know it's going to be a 2-part, so you ain't going to get it all. You're going to have to come back for the rest. You're going to have to come back next week for the rest. But let me just give this little example, because we still got to cover Lisa's title reigns and all that stuff. We got to talk about her time when she left, when she went to TNA and she became Tara. We're going to do that next week. But right now, guys, I want to talk about the fact that here I am, this black Afro-headed kid in the middle of Louisville, Kentucky, that now somehow, Lisa, got over And WWE comes down, as they will do, to scout the talent, and they're going to start Deep South Wrestling in McDonough, Georgia. And so all of a sudden they say, does Johnny Ace, hey kid, you're going to Deep South. And Jim Cornette and Danny Davis had a fit. And Jim Cornette, don't get me to start trying to do my Jim Cornette with my raspy voice, but Jim Cornette, he gets on the phone. Because they had left. They didn't know that I was supposed to be going, but they found out when I got back to training. You know, I thought y'all knew that they're sending me to Atlanta, and I don't want to go. I'm being honest. I got too much stuff that I've gathered in Louisville now. Like, I'm not just living out of a suitcase or in an apartment. I mean, I got a bunch of junk. I got 2 cars, you know, my dad didn't pass. I got his car. I got furniture. I got a whole furnished apartment, and I'm living. Yeah. So Jim Cornette gets on the phone. Danny Davis tells Jim Cornette, you know, let's handle this now. Jim Cornette gets on the phone right in front of me, and he goes, what the hell are you guys thinking? Why are you going to take some guy, my guy, who's a black guy in Kentucky, and he's over like Rover, and you're going to send him to... He was like, so I don't have to scream, guys, but he's like, take some of these guys that can't get over and send them someplace new. And he was right. Why would you take somebody who has gotten over? He said, take the guys that's been here for a while who can't get over and send them so they could start anew. And you know what? My phone rang the next day. Hey kid, it's Johnny. You know, so I've been thinking. He didn't know I was in the office when they called. He didn't know I was standing right there. Hey, I've been thinking, why am I going to send you down to Atlanta, Georgia? When you're over, I should probably be sending some of the other kids that can't get over. So don't worry about me.
My God. So you ended up staying in Louisville.
Obviously, you know. So I stayed in Louisville. So here we go, guys. I just want to give a shout out.
Also, too, like let me tell a story about how Jim Cornette helped me out too. Okay, so back in our day, we were not allowed to. There was a bar called Have a Nice Day, and that was the only bar in Louisville. I don't even know if it's still there. But all of us would go.
What was it called?
Have a Nice Day.
Oh, no, I never.
Okay, I don't know. It was just a local pub, and it played club music. Well, Nydia and I had an angle. Remember Nydia with Jamie Noble? Yep. Okay, she wasn't with Jamie Noble at the time. We had an angle, but we were heard that we were at the same club. We didn't hang out, but we were at the same club. We both got brought into the office, and they said, for hanging out with the heels and babyface, don't hang out. We have an angle. You're not around each other. We live the part. Okay. And they were like, we're going to fine you each $500. And I go, Jimmy, I go, can I make that in payments? I don't make that in a month. I don't even make $500. He goes, what are you getting paid for? What is your pay? He got me a raise from WWE because he spoke up. So me getting fined was a blessing in disguise. I only got a little tiny raise, but it still helped me with the bills because when you're at wrestling school, you eat, breathe, sleep wrestling. Your gear, like you spend everything on wrestling. So
your diet and everything you had to spend on it. Hey, so how do you? And I got about 6 minutes, but how do you feel about that today with the heels and the faces and social media? Like,
you know,
am I just old school now?
You're old school. You're old school, and I think reality television, kind of it took the veil off all the magic, you know, like just, no one wants to know Santa's not real, you know, like you don't shove it like, or magic. You don't want to know the magic trick.
Right.
So, it's changed. Unfortunately, I like the old school way, but television and social media ruined everything.
Yeah, I teach the guys that now. I mean, you still can protect it though. It's up to you.
You can. You don't show up to the building with the freaking person you're wrestling.
Right.
I mean, don't shove it in someone's face, for God's sake.
Or after your match is done, you got a freaking vlog of the person you're supposed to have been hating out in the freaking ring, and you're videoing coming back, and you two, oh gosh, shaking hands and hugging each other, and way to expose the business.
Yeah, it does. And I guess it was a blessing to have the E dropped in there. WWE entertainment. It's entertainment. You know what I mean? And people need to realize, if like we do a movie, you think Tom Cruise can say, "Hey, I don't want to get in that plane crash at the end." No, you don't have. It's a script, not a script. We don't we do our own stunts. We don't choreograph, but it's still a show. And please, I always tell people, please still enjoy it. Don't ridicule so freaking much that you're just, we're doing the best we can. And what show we get one take only.
Right.
We don't go out there and say, cut, do that spot again.
Right.
No. If that rope is oily, we slip, we fall, and then they say botch, they botch that up. I hate that. That's a pet peeve of mine too, botching. Yeah. We're human, freaking things go wrong, and the show must go on, and we try to cover it as much as possible. And then when we get injured, thank God for adrenaline, because adrenaline gets us through the end of the match, doesn't it?
Amen. Amen to that.
Amen.
All right. Well, guys, I'm going to do just a couple of questions here for Victoria for this edition, and I'll do a couple of more on part 2. But Chewy Ward, whatever the hell, he asked the question, would you ever fight in a celebrity boxing match like John Morrison did?
No.
No,
I'm all
do some
about
kickboxing.
Yeah, no, I did boxing and no, I did an MMA in Louisville. I was a part of a combat MMA combat. Oh my God, forgive me, I'm forgetting the name of the school. Combat. I know it had combat, but no, I remember doing boxing, just sparring, and I got jabbed in the nose, and my eyes started watering, and I go, I'm sticking with wrestling. I'll give you a suplex all day long. I'll take a chop, and we actually tag each other in the face sometimes when accidents happen. Yeah. But no, I'm not interested. No, I've been approached by whoever ran the last celebrity one, and the pay was comical.
Are you serious?
No. If I'm going to risk getting my brain jarred, no, it wasn't worth it. And I'm like, no, I don't need it. I don't need any. I proved myself back in the day. I still do appearances. I still support Jacksonville, Florida's charity. Are you listening?
I'm listening.
Okay. So, no, I don't, I have, the only thing, I know the next question is going to be, would I ever go back in wrestling? I would like to be a trainer, an agent backstage. I don't need the limelight. I'll be honest with you. I don't crave it. We do enough podcasts. We do enough social media. I do a lot of appearances. I would like to help the younger youth make it and, be behind the scenes.
Wow. Well, that leads me to the next rapid fire question.
I knew it.
Okay, you got 30 seconds. Is Victoria under a WWE? I know the answer, but this is a question by Solo. Is Victoria under or would like to be under WWE Legends contract?
I would love to be under a Legends contract. I am not, but a lot of people ask me why. And yes, WWE, I would love to be in Legends contract. Thank you.
I think it's criminal that you aren't. There was a couple other questions, but we're going to get to those next week. But guys, you know the deal. It's that time. It is that time where we must turn ship and set sail in the opposite direction. So for the Deacon to the Guiding Light, Alicon Comment House, for the manager, champion of managers, Polo Del Mar, for the Primitive One Red, I am your host of hosts, your Guiding Light, your Paragon of Virtue, your former NWA World's Television Champion, the Pope, Elijah Burke, saying, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and always remember, if you can't change the people around you,
change yourself.
The people around you.
I thought you were going to say change yourself.
The ending of it, I always say, if you can't change the people around you, it's true. If you can't change the people around you, then change the people around you.
Yes.